If you have a look where I am this morning, it would be hard to believe that I'm a mile outside of a town of 75,000 people. There is huge swathes of woodland like this around the area. And apart from a light aircraft I can hear overhead somewhere, no sound apart from the birds. Perfect. There goes Mr. Fox. He was sitting dead still. I'm not sure with my eyesight. When I first looked down there, I wasn't too sure whether it was a broken tree stump or a fox. He was dead still. But yeah, he bottled it and went in the end. I'm just revisiting an old campsite. I haven't been out here for years. It was a good spot because down there is Mr. Badger's house. Very well worn trail where he trawls up and down. And he comes along this bit of path. And then he goes up here. And you can see where he goes up the bank there. And that's where he used to camp. He just set up a tarp, sit quietly, and yeah, I could watch them to and fro, snuffling about. And when they had young, of course, you can watch the young playing. Drops down into a deep valley there. Loads more woodland up that way. Hundreds and hundreds of acres. But I'm going to walk round to the far side. I haven't been over there for, well, years and years. It's funny how I always sort of end up camping in a normal campsite where I film. And almost forget about some of these places. Getting lazy, I think, as I get older. Oh, pink stick up. It's you know, where I camp, you know, where you normally see me camping with Mark. It's a nice campsite. It's flat ground, even in bad weather. It's not boggy. Plentiful supply of wood and all that sort of thing. And sometimes it's just nice to do the easy option. But I think I'm going to revisit some of these older locations this summer. Probably doing solos. So I want the lighter nights, otherwise it gets boring. And of course the clocks changes this weekend, Easter weekend, so that's all going to help. Wow, that sun's bright. Can't complain. We've had so much rain. That's a welcome sight, really. In here somewhere, I've only just remembered, there is evidence of an old house. There's nothing sort of left standing as such, well, not from my memory. But you can see the outline and some brickwork, and an old well that's been covered up. I know it's here somewhere, but for the life of me I can't remember where. If I find it, I'll show you. Right, let's cut off the main path. And we'll go down through these gullies. Now I'm not sure what made these. They're not natural, that's for sure. But there's such an old history in this area. Going way back. Could have been Roman, they did a lot of iron ore extraction in this area, so you know that would have been dug by hand by the local peasants who were sort of slaves. But then you can, you know, come forward 1800s, there was some sandstone extraction in this area, and even more modern, though it was a long time ago, World War II. There was a lot of bombs dropped in this area, so you do get big bomb holes, but by the shape of that, that's the wrong shape for a bomb hole, but we do get a lot of bomb holes around here too. I'll wander down to that pond and through that way, I think. Now this is looking a bit more familiar. It's actually years since I've been in here. I think that old house was here somewhere. Oh yeah, there's brickwork. There's a concrete platform bit there. Yeah, a load of brickwork around that way. I can't remember where the well was though. It's dead flat, and it's just got like a lid over it. Good job really, because you could easily step into it. Oh, if you can see under there, the bottom of the walls. So it was, maybe that's why the pond's there. Maybe that was all part of it, who knows. I'm saying a house, it's not massive, it could have been some sort of farm building, I suppose. It could even have been something to do with the extraction of sandstone and so on. Oh, pheasant. No, I can't see the well. I know it was fairly close to the house, but it's there somewhere. Oh well, I'll walk this more open bit. Well, that's come down since I was last in here. Bloody massive chunk come off that big old tree. That would have made a hell of a row when it hit the deck. Glad I didn't have a tent under that. It's I'm not at the far edge of the woodland now. I don't know whether you'll make it out in these bright conditions. But you can see some farm buildings over here. To my knowledge, it's not their ground, but I am right on the border. So yeah, I'll head up round that way, loop round, just for a bit of fun for the group. What woodland am I in today? Now, someone who wants to do a little bit of detective work, let me give you some clues. World War II, we had the Home Guard in England, which everyone sort of nowadays takes the mickey out a little bit because of the Dad's Army series and so on, but they were quite serious. There was specialist units within the Home Guard, shall we say the SAS of the Home Guard almost. Auxiliary units. Try and find Telham Auxiliary Unit, East Sussex, because they had a base in this wood. In fact, it's about, well, 200 metres in front of me. Underground base. It was basically a radio station, and if we were invaded, obviously everyone would retreat inland. It was their job to stay behind, stay underground, stay hidden, and report back via radio on the German troop movements. Telham Auxiliary Unit, East Sussex. See if you can find it, and if you can, you'll know which wood I'm in.